Hi, I'm Ed Merrison from CellarHand, and on the menu today is Blanc de Blanck. And no, we're not heading to Champagne. In fact, we are headed here to the village of Kientzheim in Alsace, and the wine in question is the Pinot Blanc of Domaine Paul Blanck with a K at the end. Seems like an opportune moment to take you to Alsace following last week's trip to the Pfalz in Germany, where we looked at the Karlstädter Riesling from Köhler-Ruprecht. The Pfalz and Alsace have a fair bit in common. Of course, there have been significant chunks of history where Alsace has accidentally found itself in Germany. In fact, stroll down the street in Kientzheim and you could easily imagine you were in Karlstadt and vice versa. So both Alsace and Pfalz lie between a set of mountains and the Rhine River. Those mountains are the Vosges in France, and as the peaks continue through Germany, they're known as the Heart. And just as the Pfalz is Germany's driest wine region, so is annual rainfall in Alsace among the lowest of any region in France. And think about that, because it gets pretty hot down there in the south. The long, cool growing season up here is the secret behind grapes that can develop intense, rich flavours while retaining impressive acidity. The other thing connected to those mountain ranges is that the violent geological activity that gave birth to them has churned up the ground over millions of years to create a true mosaic of soil formations, at least 20 major ones here in Alsace, running the gamut from gneiss, granite, sandstone, schist and volcanic sediments to clay, marl and limestone. And all these soils are partly what gives such a lively diversity to the profile of Alsace wines. Also diverse are the grape varieties: Pinots Gris, Blanc and Noir, Riesling, Gewürztraminer, Muscat, Sylvaner, Auxerrois and more. You might have noticed that only one of those, Pinot Noir, is a black grape, and indeed around 90% of Alsace wine is white. And the one that we're looking at here comes under that banner, as I said, Pinot Blanc, a grape that I have a bit of a soft spot for actually. It's probably most strongly associated with Alsace, even though it's regarded as something of a workhorse here. Across the border, the Germans call it Weissburgunder and probably hold it in higher esteem, sometimes cultivating it as a round, rich, oaked alternative to Chardonnay. So the grape is a white mutation of Pinot Gris or Grigio, but unlike its pink-skinned cousin, Pinot Blanc is not among the four so-called noble varieties of Alsace. That prize quartet, Pinot Gris, Muscat, Gewürz, and of course Riesling, is granted several freedoms that are not extended to humble Pinot Blanc. They can find their names on Grand Cru bottlings, as well as qualifying for two appellations unique to Alsace: Vendange Tardive, or Late Harvest, and Sélection de Grains Nobles, or SGN, the unctuous dessert wines made by grapes affected by noble rot. But not our lonely Pinot Blanc. In fact, Pinot Blanc is weirdly exempted from another rule that might have helped it stand on its own 2 feet. One of the cool and accessible things about Alsace is that variety labelling has long been part of the culture here. That is to say, unlike many French regions, this place routinely states the name of the grape on the label. In fact, if it carries the name of the variety on the front, you know it's 100% made from that grape. Unless, that is, you guessed it, it says Pinot Blanc, because it's common in Alsace to blend this variety with the fruitier, lower acid variety Auxerrois, and no matter what the percentages, it would still be labelled Pinot Blanc. Now, I suppose it's not really a big deal. It's not like I can taste where the Pinot Blanc ends and the Auxerrois begins. They're actually sort of quite similar, but still, it's kind of weird. But let's get back to our Domaine Paul Blanck. So it's located in the village of Kientzheim, home to Alsace's first vineyard to be elevated to Grand Cru status. That honour falls to Schlossberg, which is the source of the Blanc's top Riesling bottling. In fact, more than a third of the estate's vines are in Grand Cru sites, with another third in Lieu dit. That is, sites with historic names long recognised for their character and prized above the run-of-the-mill land for their quality. Since 1988, the domain's been run by cousins Philippe and Freddy Blanck, whose Austrian forebear, Hans Blanck, brought his first vines in Alsace back in 1610. Philip describes himself as an artist impresario, and that artist is cousin Freddy. The vineyards have long been farmed organically and will be certified as of next year. So Freddy's a huge fan of Australia and customarily makes an annual trip down here to see us. He's a bit of a speed demon and comes for the superbikes down at Phillip Island. That, and he actually has a son living here, Luca Blanc, who together with Kathleen Queeley's son Tom McCarthy creates the Kerry Green wines here on the Mornington Peninsula. In fact, Luca's wife Elise just added to the Blanc dynasty with the arrival of baby Louis Paul Blanc. Congratulations, guys. So, the wine. So it's vintage 2018. It comprises 80% Pinot Blanc and 20% Auxerrois. It belongs to the estate's Vin Classique range, wines that seek to combine varietal definition with a strong stamp of Alsace. It's grown predominantly on soils of granite and limestone. Granite gives the freshness Freddy claims, and limestone lends it this peachy length. So like all the wines here, the juice is slowly extracted with an airbag press before slow natural fermentation with native yeasts. The Vin Classique are vinified in stainless steel. What the Blancs are looking for here is a pure, direct expression of Alsace aromatics. The wine comes under screw cap and will set you back around $32. I read somewhere that Pinot Blanc's aroma comes as a cloud, and it's fair to say that this doesn't jump out of the glass. There are aromas of apricot, pear, cream, pastry and shortbread. It's not piercing on a tongue either. It's kind of blunt and relaxed as it goes in, rather than tart and taut. On the palate, it's light, it's bright, only medium-bodied, coming across as a gentle caress. It has what I see as Alsace's signature though, a sensation of ripe orchard fruits. There's pear and peach, a creamy note and faint touch of spice, and that relaxed feel that it had at the start continues as it ambles through the palate, very fresh fruited and energetic on the finish. The wine will go down a treat with anyone looking for a beautifully balanced, unoaked dry white with a strong regional identity. I find it so easygoing, and its charm comes from the fact that it's not a fruit bomb, yet those orchard fruits are so vivid and fresh. So to find out more about the wines of Domaine Paul Blanck or any other wines in our portfolio, please go to our website, that's cellarhand.store, or feel free to send us a direct message at CellarHand Wine or to me at Van Merrison. But in the meantime, please stay safe, drink responsibly and discerningly, and thanks as always for watching.